G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to be fixing this recorder on permanently and getting the sill done. So check this out. Look at this rust all underneath there. Of course where the joint is, this bit's rusted. That whole bit needs replacing. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I haven't got any zinc anneal today. I went to pick up a sheet of zinc anneal, I should say, and they only had mild steel. So we're about to get some weather in, and I want to make this sheet a bit smaller so I can somehow cover it up. So that's the sheet of mild. It's just going to rust like crazy. So I'm going to shoot down to Bunnings. I'm going to pick up some weld through primer, and once I've got the new sill panel on, I'll prime that up, even though I might need to come back and do some welding. So yeah, I'm going to get that up on the bench, cut my piece, mark it out, start bending it, and then probably I'll have to take that rear quarter off. I'll figure it out as I go along, like I always do. My plans never actually end up being the plan, or end up being the actual work that I do, so I won't plan too much. But the other two jobs I'd like to do today, it's a Sunday, the weather's cooler, but like I said, we might get some rain. If we get some rain, I'm going to have to cover the car up, cover up this sheet of steel, pack all my tools away, and that'll be it. I'll be back inside. Yep. Alright, come around straight.
Push it up.
No. Get with the program. Yeah, now you got it. You're forcing it, just you're supposed to just be holding, supporting it. Right, thank you. See, nothing's changed. Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to fit the new sill, but there's that much rust in this car, I've got to do some patches before I do the sill. So turn the camera around, show you what I'm quickly doing. So I've got this little section here, and I've made up a little plate for that already. Which way does this go? This goes in here. So I'll weld that in. That'll take care of that little spot. Then I want to, once I cut this sill out, I want to replace this bit here down to here. So that'll get replaced. And then there's a bit down the front, this bit here that I was talking about earlier, that I'm going to replace this whole bit here, probably all the way up to there, I'd say. So that'll be my next one. I get these patches done, then I can get the exciting bit of putting the sill on. But by doing those patches behind, it's going to make the sill that much better. And I've got some edge primer, which I'm going to prime everything inside before I weld it on, and that'll help to protect from rust in the future. Not that this thing's going to be sitting around in salt water like this probably did, or you know, being in the weather a lot. It'll be kept away, tucked away in the shed, and then I'll be taken out for cruises. So it's not likely to rust in my lifetime, but still, if we're going to do it, we'll make it last as long as possible. Look at all the shit here. Oh yeah. Doesn't lead them now. Yeah. What's the reason for that? Oh, I just got sick of all the chemicals in the water. Do you just put tap water in there? Yeah.
So we should see all that shit that comes out.
Yeah.
It's like dark brown and it smells horrible.
Yeah.
White goo that floats around the edges.
Yeah.
I think that's the chlorine.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the things I don't like. I've been drinking tap water, but I make up like 4 big bottles of cordial a day, and I just drink that all day. Trying to cut it, and the wind's blowing my arms around. Alright, so cut the sill off, and that's exposed all this rust. So this B-pillar that's basically disintegrated here from rust. I'll have to extend that so I can weld the sill to that. I'll put another couple of structures up there as well to help support that, and I'm going to cut all of this rust out.
There's been a few times, like, if I didn't do the exact right thing at the exact time, I would have been off.
Oh, you get that when you ride and you go, geez, that was close, but it's kind of like instinct. You get that instinct to just like recover.
Like, I'll be like scraping my foot pegs around the corners. I'll be that low.
Ready, you know, and you know that you got full confidence, and then you go just that little bit harder. You know, you don't.
The 300 is good though, because I can ride it to its full potential.
Bikes will be, I'll be holding them up and they'll get
Yeah.
annoyed. Mate, yeah.
Well, like, I don't get annoyed. I understand why they're going slow. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going outside, she goes out.
Just like these two.
Yeah.
Edge primer.
Made it look good.
Yeah. A little bit of a taste of winter today, almost.
Yeah. That's a good mallet.
Yeah, I've destroyed it a bit, breaking these off.
Where'd you find that old school hammer?
This?
No, the other one.
No, they're not. That's not old school. That's brand new.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't look brand new.
No, it's only because of my, like, when you work. Oh.
What are you gonna do when it pisses down? And you have all this shit out.
It just gets wet. Not much else I can do. Go see if it needs this bend before I do it. Yeah.
Bet fire would still make it crazy.
No, actually she's good because I whacked her with a newspaper.
Really?
And she now doesn't get carried away.
So you just have to bring out the newspaper.
Yeah, I whack it on my hand. I always keep it when we have a fire. I always keep a rolled up newspaper around. And yeah, she's fine with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well, I don't get bored as easily anymore.
no. You do that instead of him. I don't understand what you're saying.
Like, ever since I started doing things I don't want to do.
See, like. Well, the day's beaten me on this job, but pretty happy with how the sill's going. Done all the inner structure, done both ends, and now the sill's going on, so I'll give you a quick look, then we'll come back and finish it tomorrow night. I show you something, guys. Been looking at this ute. It's hardly a ute anymore, check it out. So this is all I've got left. So the diff I've mentioned before, that's going on the charger. Springs I'll get rid of, but I've got all this. So I'm actually going to cut this floor out because it's a perfect floor, and I'm going to use it in the boot of the charger. It's not original as in all the pattern on the metal, but it's all solid, and it should, I've got to measure it, it should all work out size wise. Those tubs there, because I want to do some mini tubs, I'm going to use these tubs and I'm going to cut down the middle here, and I'm going to move these over so they're in line with the frame rail, and then I'll add a piece in around there. Because I've got this to cut out, I've got perfect starting tub. I don't have to, it's going to be so easy. So this outer tub, this one here is actually pretty intact. Unfortunately that one there, I got a bit excited with the grinder and I was just just cutting, oh come on, get this rear quarter off, not thinking that I might want to use the tub. So I think I've cut a piece out of that and it's missing. Otherwise what I could have done is use that bit to meet up with the rear quarter. Actually, tell you what I'll do, I'll go and get that rear quarter and I'll just set it on there quickly and we'll see if it's anywhere near, because I'm not sure. I just think it's got a bit missing, but let's find out. I'm getting myself all turned around and twisted up in knots. It's that side, which is the side I actually cut off carefully. So I have got the whole tub to be able to use, so have a look. There's a couple of tiny bits missing, but that's nothing. So that's good news. I might cut this out, weld it onto here, and then offer it up to that. I'll show you how, well actually you can see it here. See, this is how they did that floor. So that ute tub is just sitting on top of the original floor. I'm actually wondering if I was to take that off, if I could, I don't know how it's fixed down, whether it's just set, surely it's welded there somewhere, might have some bolts or something, but maybe this floor underneath is savable. Let's see if I can flip the ute up and have a look. It's Bit hard to see, but yeah, maybe I'm onto something there. We'll have to see about that one. Bit of cutting and it'll tell a huge story, I think. Just need to get the grinder going. So alright, well that's me done for the moment. Alright guys, so I went ahead, finished welding this up. It would be a boring video just to watch me spot welding 1.5 meters along there. So I'll show you what we got. The sill is all welded up apart from the tiny little bit on the back where it meets the rear quarter. So now I won't get it in this video, it's going to have to be the next video that we get that rear quarter welded on permanently on there. So I'll show you the sill. So I cleaned all this up and welded a tiny little patch in there because my angles didn't quite work out. That's all welded in, this is all welded, and I'm glad that I got the etch primer on it because it rained today and it would have been all rusty. So I'll show you up the top. So that's all welded, everything's cleaned up, and then this will rear quarter, by the time that goes on, she'll look beautiful. So yeah, kicking some goals. Found a little bit of rust on here that's going to need repairing underneath. Someone's hide the rust job there with some bog, so that's alright, that's nothing too major. Yeah, nice solid sill in there. So I'm pretty pumped about that. It's little things like this that just make it take that step forward each time from being a rust bucket to a, you know, a worthwhile car to restore. So underneath doesn't look too bad. I'll give you a look. There's nothing major here. Obviously I've got to do something about my untidy cutting there where I joined the two floors, and then I've got to do something about this, so I'll cut a little bit more off of that so I can weld the ute floor to the existing charger floor there. But it's all not too bad. I mean, underneath all this sound ender, you know, it's all pretty good. Little bits of rust like this, but like I said, I think I'm gonna just remove this whole thing and use the ute tub and take it back to the chassis line there, so I get my big rubber under there. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank Pete over at Junkified with his charger build, his channel over there. He's doing some great stuff and he's given me some tips on how to do some of these rust repairs properly. So that's, which is why I got the etch primer to seal that up inside and out. Little things like that, you know, if we all work together we can all do a better job and have a better car at the end of it. So, and that's the point of this channel, to show you guys, you know, I'm not an expert by any means, and you know, but I can weld, I can shape metal a little bit, and I can cut out and replace bits that are there to end up with a good car at the end of it. You know, it doesn't have to be the caliber of the high-end builders. Just having a good streetable car is, you know, that's the goal here. So I'll just give you a little teaser while I'm having a yak. I've been doing some upholstery, so I've got that coming up, and I'll show you my bonnet here. I've got my bonnet here, which some of you might find interesting. So it's a ute roof, the main part of it, and then I've cut in the scallops like what's in the VH chargers, but I've emphasized it a bit and I've added the strip down the middle. So this was a CL bonnet, nothing like what it's gonna be. So, but I wanted to scoop so that I could get a little bit more clearance with the air cleaner. So that's something. I've got some videos for that coming up. Yeah, there's still more stuff that I've done which I'll get up to you, and obviously the continued work that I'm doing. Got a few parts, pretty cool parts coming, so yeah, I'll be keen to show them to you. But I want to say thank you so much for such a new channel. It seems to be doing quite well. Like I said, I've had a renovation channel, and so far this is blowing it out of the water. So yeah, it's thanks so much to all the new subscribers. I hope you get something out of it. I am going to do something about the loud music. I've changed the format, and I hope you like this video. Give me the feedback. Just whack it down in the comments if you think it's better or if you miss the music. I don't think anyone will miss the music. But yeah, thank you to everyone for all your support, and I hope, you know, as the channel goes along, you enjoy every episode, and well, maybe not every episode, but enjoy the majority of what you're seeing and get something out of it. So until the next video, you take care. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.